Hello and welcome to a quick and simple modding guide for Skyrim on the Switch. This guide is geared towards Android users, so people with a retro handheld or an Android phone, that sort of thing. For this guide, I'm using my Retroid Pocket 5 with Eden emulator. Android emulation has come a long way, and as a huge Skyrim fan, I've had a lot of success playing the Switch version. It runs quite stable with newer builds of Eden, and it requires practically zero tweaking compared to running things like WinLater or GameHub in my experience. It's also pretty straightforward to mod. So let's begin. To start, we're going to want to go to the Nexus page, nexusmods.com. We're going to want to find the Nintendo Switch Edition Skyrim page. Now, there's going to be a fair bit of stuff here, but just bear in mind that a lot of the graphics mods may be hit or miss. We are emulating the system on our Android device. We are not running original hardware. So I found things like lighting mods can be hit or miss, but gameplay improvements mods, these are what we're going to want. They run great. I've tested several. This is what we want to use most of the time. We're already running the Switch version on what's probably a 720p or 1080p instance of the game. We're not looking for eye candy here. We're just looking for a fun game to play. So that's kind of what we should be aiming for when we're looking to mod the Switch version. First things first, we're going to need the Skyrim for Switch mod manager, the SSMM. This guy is going to give us the appropriate output files that lets us actually mod the game properly. Things go much smoother when you have this tool. So we're going to go to files, we're going to hit manual download, we're going to unzip that file, and we'll see what's inside. So in that SSMM package, you're going to find a mods folder, and you're going to find the exe file that actually runs the mod manager. So what we're going to want to do first is we're going to want to download a mod or two. I've already taken the liberty of downloading a few. Here's the internals of the Realm of Lorcon mod. Fantastic mod. I highly recommend it. It's amazing. But anyway, we'll want to open that zip file for the mod. We're going to want to grab everything inside. We're going to drop them into that mods folder. I've already taken the liberty of moving my mods over, so let's take a look. When I open this up, I have several mod files. They're all kind of all over the place, but the SSMM does a good job of actually finding them all and making sure that they're all, recognized. So let's see that in action. I'll open up the SSMM. Here we go. And I'm going to scan the mod folder, and there they are. I have Become a Bard, book covers, Dolomite Weathers, an Irim, fantastic mod, Realm of Lorcon, survival teleportation, really great for people who play survival and want to still fast travel, and visible favorited gear. Now, all I have to do is hit export, and it's going to create an output folder. There it is. And what I'm going to need is everything inside of this folder here. I will move this into my Eden emulator. But for now, we're not done. We need to check out the ini file. Let's see how we edit that ini file. So in this ini file, what we're looking for is what's at the top here. I have 4 files at the moment, 4 test files. I have Dawnguard, Hearthfire, Dragonborn, Hyrule. That's the 3 main DLCs of the game, plus the Switch-specific DLC. What I want to do is, up to a maximum of 10, I want to be able to load files onto here, basically just by adding them one by one, like so, and putting in the name of the ESP file that is in my plugin list, in the list of mods that I've already installed. So what that looks like is right here. I already have an example of the one that's on my Retroid. So here we go. I've actually taken out test file 4, or Hyrule. I don't need that. I don't need Link's gear. I already have a lot of cool gear in Skyrim. I don't need that too. So I've replaced it with Realm of Lorcon, and all my other ESP files, I've just copied and pasted the actual names of these ESP files that are in my mod list in the data folder into my ini file. Once that's done, I save it, and that's what I want to actually move into my Retroid. And I'll show you how I do that next. So now that we've actually edited the INI file, we can get everything transferred over into our device now. So I'm going to my ROMs directory on my Retroid, and I'm going to go into this folder I made called mod. And this is that folder that was really important that I talked about earlier. So going into the output folder of SSMM, I have in here the exact same folder. This is what I'm looking for. So what I'm doing, if this was fresh, I'd be dropping this folder right into my directory, and there we go. That's it. Everything's transferred over. I want to make sure that I have the ROM-Fs folder. That's what I want to point Eden emulator to later, and I'll show you that. But otherwise, here's my INI file. Here's my data folder, and this includes all my mods. And with the INI file configured properly, it's going to actually load these mods. So with that in mind, let's move over to what it looks like on device. So now that I've loaded up Eden emulator on my device, I'm going to head over to Skyrim, and I'm going to long press. I'm going to go to add-ons. Now that I'm here, I see that I have DLC and the update installed. I'm going to hit the install button. I'm going to choose mods and cheats. And I'm already in this folder because I've added a few mods in the past. I've gone back and forth testing before recording this video. But either way, I'm going to select that folder that we added, and the ROM-Fs folder is in view. Let's use this folder. Allow. And it's going to install content. And I'll take this time to remind you once again that as it stands, there seems to be a 10 mod limit, and that does include the DLCs, which is why I removed the Hyrule one so I can have a 7th mod installed. Now, the SSMM does have the ability to patch the game and allow for more mods, but I haven't figured out how to make that work on an emulator. That seems to be geared towards workflow on original hardware, like a modded Switch. I don't know how to make that work on Android. Someone may be able to tell me. That'd be fantastic. But either way, let's load Skyrim. So now that we're in the game, I'm actually going to start a new game. This is a great way to test that Realm of Lorcon is working. So let's do it. And here it is. All right, that's it. Happy gaming. Thanks for watching.